Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to Reading 2 course, Unit 10, The Mystery of Easter Island. In the previous lecture, we talked about how to analyze advantage and disadvantage, and how to identify ethics and values. But in today's lecture, we will learn about how to identify multiple causes and how to synthesize information. Okay, now open your book, page 145, unit 10. You will also in this unit read about an amazing society that all but disappeared. And you will learn how to increase your understanding of the target academic words for this unit, such as seize, cite, collapse, conceive, confirm, culture, deny, derive, nevertheless, quote, supplement, transport, valid and widespread. Okay, think about how will you know each target words in this unit, then write it in the appropriate column in the chart. When you have finished this unit, come back and reassess your knowledge of the target words. Now, before we read, in his book Collapse, Gerard Diamond, a professor of geography at UCLA, identified 8 factors within a human control that have contributed to the collapse of the past society. Which of these factors do you feel are most likely to threaten civilizations today? So these 8 points, we will discuss it in next Zoom meeting. The destruction of forest and other habitats, soils erosion and loss of soil fertility, water supply and management problems, overhunting, overfishing, damage to native plant and animal species caused by introduction of a new species, a human overpopulation, and an increase in the impact on the environment of each individual. So this word we need to know, like archaeology, the study of ancient civilization by examining the remains of buildings and objects, also spelled as archaeology. Okay, bureaucrat, an official who works for a complex organization or government, especially one who follows the rules too strictly. Clan, a tribe or a large social group organized according to kinship or family relation. Discreet, to damage something that is holy, such as a religious shrine. Excavation, a place where people dig to search for archaeological evidence. And sediment, solid material that settles at the bottoms of liquids such as rivers. So in this article from a science magazine, biologist and geographical Gerard Diamond gives a background on the culture, history, and the mystery of Easter Island. Now you should pause the video, read the full text, read it line by line in order to be able to solve the question. I hope you have read the text. So let's go and solve the question number A, the reading comprehension. Mark each sentence as a true or false according to the information in reading 1. Use the dictionary when it's needed. So the author, Gerard Diamond, blames a human behavior for the destruction of the Easter Island's ecosystem. So according to the text, this statement is true. Diamond believes that the culture that originally inhabited Easter Island left once deforestation was complete. So this statement is false according to the text. Third one, Diamonds believe that the statues could not have been built unless the islanders have very sophisticated and modern tools. So according to the text, this question is also false. The excavation of garbage heaps suggests that the islanders become more desperate in their search for food. So according to the text, this statement is true. The final one, Gerard Diamonds feels that modern cultures, due to the greater knowledge of history and science, are immune to the kinds of ecological distress suffered on Easter Island. So according to the text, this statement is false. Now let's move to the question number B. Scan the reading to find the sentence paraphrased below. In the blank, write the first few words of the original sentence. The first sentence is, given these advantages, we might expect Easter Island to be a tiny utopia, a society free from the difficulties of other civilization. So if you scan the reading, you'll find, in theory, this blessing should have made Easter a miniature paradise, remote from problems that beset the rest of the world. Number 2, the people on the island had no contact with people from other places and did not know that there were other humans in the world. The Icelanders were totally isolated, unaware that other people exist. Okay? The difficulty of accounting for the presence of these statues were immediately apparent. So if we scan the reading text, we'll find Roggevin himself quickly recognized the problem that statues posed. Scientific studies show that when the first settler arrived, Easter Island was not a barren, empty land. Yes, pollen analysis shows that during the early years of Polynesian settlement, Easter was not a wasteland at all. Okay, the final one. The land could no longer support the political and religious institutions that the community needed. So in the text, it's written, with the fewer food sources, Easter Island could no longer feed the chiefs, bureaucrats, and priests who had kept a complex society running. So, reading strategy, identifying multiple causes. Many controversies involve a dispute over causes. Why did or does something happen? Some events may have a single cause, but often we must look for multiple causes, particularly when analyzing change in human societies. In academic setting, a test or study question may ask about multiple causes. To establish that an event or condition is a cause, we need to provide a rationale. Why is this condition or event relevant? Why it is a possible factor? To be convincing, we need to show that our reasoning is valid and that our explanation is plausible. Now, Read the paragraph and the questions. Then, drawing on information in reading 1, complete the table by providing a rationale that explains why each condition is possible factors in the construction of the statues. Now this the first one is solved. So let's say Jared Diamond argues that the statues in Easter Island were constructed by the ancestor of the people living on the island in 1722. To establish this as a plausible explanation, research might ask this question. What condition made it possible for Easter Islanders to prosper and construct hundreds of large stone statues at one time in their history? So pollen analysis shows that the islands once had many trees, including hahawa trees. So the rationale behind that, hahawa trees can provide fibers for ropes. Rope was needed to drag the statues from the quarry. Okay? Now pollen analysis showed that the most common trees was the large Easter Island palm. So the rationale behind that is the Easter Island palm could be used for making sleds to move statue and for buildings cannons. Okay? There were hard stone available. So the rationale behind that, so relevant, hard stone could be used for making chisels to carve the statues from softer rock. Okay? Number 4, there were quarries with the soft stone available. So quarries provide stones large enough to make the statues. The material had to be soft enough to carve with the stone tools. Question number 5, or the fifth statement. The weather was mild, the soil fertile, and the ocean provided food. So the rationality behind this, these conditions could support a large population and a complex social structure. A large population would be needed to carve the hundreds of statues. Okay?